Even though him here side of me are probably he's my retirement. He is, coach. See him, he's my pension. he is. He's my pension. What are you going to do for me, son?
What?
What are you going to do with someone who broke Dad's spiffer? He broke. He nearly removed me sarcophagus.
Liam was asked to help it.
Who are we talking about? Who are you going out at?
Dubois.
See? Going out.
Your little boy, how old are you?
12.
12. What's the difference between him and Daniel Dubois? 10 years?
He's worked the age difference out.
Go on, tell me.
I'll be 22 and he'll be like 33, 32.
Speak up, voice and magnet.
What?
Speak up.
I'll be 22 and I'll be like 33, 32.
So you're trying to get Daniel Dubois basically when he might be creeping into his twilight years, like towards the end of it.
Well, to be honest with you, Coke, I don't want to put him in a bad art, but 33-year-old, I think Daniel Dubois will still be a bit too dangerous. I'd leave him alone.
Well, listen, I don't know where he's going to be at 22, so I'm not going to say anything like that. But what I will say is, at 33, you'd think that Daniel Dubois was still a powerhouse, but this little man here at 22, you don't know. He could be...
Well, I'm telling you now, he hit me up the year-old the other day. She was ringing for 2 days. I'm telling you, heavy-handed it. But I don't know where he gets the punch power from. I want a DNA test done, because I don't carry power. But no, listen, he's just getting into it, Coop. He's doing well. He's always been around boxing, and I don't care what anyone says. Travelling people for the whether people like this, what I'm going to say or not. Travelling people are the pound for pound the best breed of people to have a fight because they're arty. Right, listen, I've never touched him, never laid a hand or a finger on him, and never would. Right, but Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
What does quitting mean? What would I do if you quit?
Drown me.
Yeah. He knows.
What did he say?
What would I do if you quit?
Drown me.
There you go. Drowning. Quitting's not an option. That's half the battle done, and that ain't from fear or anything. You just know that that's it. Quitting is not an option. You can't. You got to breed art. That's the only way to get in. It's not in the feeding, Cook, it's in the breeding.
Okay.
I literally, for anyone that's wondering and got a full child line, I wouldn't literally drown my own son.
No, again, we know the context. Well, I'd like to think people watching this know what you're talking about and the context in which you're saying it. There are people that will go, did you hear what Tom Little said? He said he would drown his child. And you get stupid people like that. But
I wouldn't drown him. I might hold him underwater for a while.
Oh dear.
Oi.
Right. Okay.
What went wrong with him with Daniel Dubois? That bit mean him be off talking terms or turn my phone off. Say, listen.
When you told me the other day, your boy just said there about he said I'm going to get him back for you, Dad. You went, oh, he said Daniel Dubois, and I said, how old is he? Then he went 12. He's mapped it all out. You told me what you just said there. He's mapped it. He's going to wait 10 years until Dubois maybe on a decline by then, but you don't know. He probably wouldn't be then. So.
God, boy, listen, see him. He's one man. You don't listen. Just leave. You just look. Lucky enough, if he ever decides to do it for a living, and look, he's there to call me a liar. And trust me, he do call me a liar enough times, right? If he didn't want to box, it'd make me very, very happy. Like when he has his first fight next year, I don't even think I'll be able to watch him fight. I don't. I think I'll be a nervous wreck, and that'll be the end of me. Tom will probably be in Kettering A&E, getting his pulse checked. But listen, if he wants to do it, he's been round boxing his whole life. He loves it. They're children, aren't they? It's not nice for him to do, and he's got aspirations in his head. So listen, let him follow him. Let him go down that route. And the benefit of it is, if you ever do go down that route, listen, I've been screwed from every angle that there is to be screwed from, and he'll have a lot of things to be. And one of them things will be you stay away from men like Daniel Dubois for as long as you can until you're earning as much capital as you can out of fighting such guys. I
was having a conversation, actually, who was it with today? I was talking to Peter Fury about it, actually, today, about Dubois and the age he's at. and kind of what his potential is, because it is potential at the moment with Daniel Dubois. But you look at him and you think he's been around for a long time, and he hasn't really. And he's only really, what's he, about 22? Dubois is frightening about where he could be in a few years' time. Frightening.
That's what I mean, man. But like, I'll say it now, and I've said it for a long time. I genuinely do believe, like the likes. I think Daniel Dubois is such a brilliant prospect at such a bad time to be a prospect, in the sense of who you would have to beat to become number one.
Mm.
Like, you've got to look at the list, the list of men that they is. You've got, look, I'm talking about, right, here's the oldies, Povetkin and all that, right? There's Povetkin, Pulev, and they're all like, oh, and the B class. 1 second. Sorry, Coop.
All right.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
The B class fighters. Then you've got, Tommy Lee, just get me that charger from over there and reel that thing out for me so I can put it in. You got the B classes. Then you've got like the whites, like the Trezoras of the world, and then the whites, and then the Michael Hunters, and do you know what I mean? Like up the top of the tree, you got the Deontay Wilders, the Anthony Joshuas, the Tyson Furies. Do you know what I mean? Like all these guys, like he's got to beat some massive names to become number one at a young age. At a young age, and that's the only thing. Like, listen, also the other prospects at his sort of level, the Hergoviches, the Majidovs, and whatever not. Right, I do genuinely believe Daniel Dubois beats Majidov. Do genuinely believe that. Hergovich, not all the time. He got a hole in his behind, and that's my honest truth. Like that matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes. I think it's just the only thing that Daniel hasn't got on his side is obviously experience in the pro game and also the amount of fights. But I think the potential's there we could see. I'm sure Frank Warren would test him with whoever, but it's not really about that at his stage. There's no rush for Dubois, though, is there?
That's the thing.
Age-wise, he's still a baby in the boxing world, so there ain't no reason to pitch him against kind of the top level heavyweights. But I'm sure he'd get in the ring with them. I'm sure he would, but why?
Listen, I don't doubt that for a second. Like, I think listen, what a fight! Listen, you got to tip your hat to both of them, Coop. Him and Joe.
Oh, 100%. It's a great fight. I'm gutted that never happened then. I hope it does happen in October, which it looks like
you got to tip your hat to both of them, man.
Yeah.
Both of them going out there, putting it on the line, like there, and like the winner go. And it's not the end for the person who loses. Do you know what I mean? Far from it. More so Daniel than Joe because of the age, but it's literally. I genuinely do fancy Joyce in that fight. I've tossed and I've turned with that choice.
Right. I don't know what happened there at all. Where did you go?
She rang me, Nana.
Oh, your wife?
Yeah.
That's all right. She rang you. What did she want?
Like, tell me that she's paying for the shopping at the shop.
She rang you to tell you she's paying for the shopping?
Yeah, I've got to go and pick her up after we're done here.
Oh, that's why. Sorry. I thought she just rang you and went, oh, all right, Tom, just letting you know I'm paying for the shopping this week.
Yeah, no, she's just saying I'm queuing up. I'll be about however long she's going to be.
All right.
Yeah, but...
All right.
She God love her, I think the world of her. But she would tell me if she burps in the wrong direction, I would need to know about it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just finish off on what you were saying about Dubois Joyce, which we'll get to see in October.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's an exciting fight, and I've tossed and turned with the result, and like the more I think about it, I just siding with Joyce. You know, I'm siding with Joyce because like at first, right, I'll tell you exactly how I see it. All right. I've sparred Joe, and I found, even though I've got faster feet than Daniel, and that, but I found Joe not too hard to hit clean, yeah, early, yeah, and you can't. I don't think you can let. Well, I know you can't let someone like Daniel hit you clean, right? Period. Can't do it. Tried and tested, and it fucking hurt, and that's all we'll say about it. But what I was going to say is, I can see Joe. If Joe starts fast, gets straight at him and closes the distance, Daniel don't carry that power at mid to short range. It's at the end of his hand. Do you know what I mean? So for that reason, and I think Joe knows that because Joe sparred him quite a bit as well. Because Joe's told me about his jab and whatever. Me and him were having jokes about it, how hard his jab was. So I just think Joe's gonna, like, regardless of whatever, both men are gonna have to change something on the night and adapt. And I believe that Joe's amateur pedigree and the level that he fought at as an amateur will allow him to adapt quicker. And I reckon that will be the swaying factor. And I genuinely reckon Joe will stop him mid-rounds. Not late, like everyone's saying, mid-rounds. Because I tell you what Joe does, and I mean this here, he forces you to work at an unworkable rate. Unworkable. Like, and Daniel's a big boy. And them muscles got old oxygen, and I reckon he will get fatigued quite quick at the amount of punches he's gonna have to throw to work with Joe. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going for Dubois, Joyce to stop him.
Okay, it's interesting. I'm really looking forward to that fight. Like I said, we was meant to have had that fight by now. It was obviously scheduled for April. That couldn't happen, obviously, but hopefully we do get to see it in October. So
yeah, no, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. What do you reckon about the boxing was on last night? Or watched? There's a couple of heavyweights on there.
Good fights on that last night. It was good to see. Obviously, BT Sport and Frank Warren coming back with boxing last night, so it was good to see it back on the telly. I don't know about the old crowd noise off and on. I prefer it a bit off. I think it works for football. I don't think it works for boxing. So, but I think it's a trial and error thing, isn't it? So we'll see how it's received.
I didn't know whether it was me, but the noise was going skipping. I think it was my telly. I think
that's your moody box you've got. Whatever you've got.
Box. I've got an £80 a month subscription with Virgin.
Okay, all right, fair enough. That's what I meant. Your Virgin box. I'll have a word with Virgin over it.
It's not moody. It's 100% legit. See, that's again just racial profiling. Just because I'm a gypsy.
Tom, do you know, Tom, do you know how I know you've got a moody box? Because I sold you it. That's how I know. That's a joke. For anyone, for the record, that was a joke. Get him up, because he's sitting there in the background.
It's a joke, but you'll find him on Brentwood roundabout knocking him out the boot of his car. 120.
Get him up. Get him closer to you, because he's sat in the back there. Tommy, I want to ask him some things.
Come here, I asked him, talk to me.
Right. Tell me 3 other fighters apart from your dad who your favourite fighters are.
Andre Ward, Billy Joe, and Muhammad Ali.
Okay. How much boxing do you watch then? Like on the telly, or do you watch old fights, Tommy?
Yeah, I watch mostly Andre Ward or Billy Joe.
Interesting. Style-wise, looking at Andre Ward, who's one of the best fighters ever, isn't he? Andre Ward. Never really got the credit, did he? I don't think, as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters. They call you the heavyweight Andre Ward, didn't they, Tom?
I'll get called lots of things, to be fair, Cook. But, now listen, Joe, what it is, I'll tell you what it is with him, Cook. I'll tell him, because, listen, he don't live with me, he lives up in Northampton, right? I'll tell him to do something, and I can bet your life he'll do it. I'll tell him to pick out 3 good things and 4 bad things on a fighter, and I'll pick a fighter and I'll tell him to watch him and do what I was saying. And he's generally got a good boxing brain. I remember when he was dear little boy, about 5. But I'll tell you how long ago it was, when Canelo fought Khan.
Yeah.
Right? And he watched it, me and him were sick watching the fight. And he went, he looked at me and went, Dad, now if I was that ginger man, he said, I'd touch him to the body. He said, because every time he jabs him to the body, he said, he drops his hands down. He said, I'd touch him to the body, so I'll run straight over the top. He said, his chin's wide up in the air. Well, next round, Canelo hit him square on the chin, done exactly the same thing, bowled him straight over.
So that fight was, I reckon, what, 5 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago, that fight?
Yeah.
So he would have been about basically 7 or 8.
Honestly, yeah, I used to catch him around the back of the trailer. When I was in the trailer, I'd catch him. I used to, the gas bottle I eat at the trailer, I used to catch him punching the gas bottle. He thought it was a boxing bag.
Tommy, would you say that you've got a bit of a punch on you?
I don't know. I think I've got a little bit.
Right. All right, Tom, listen, I'm going to let you get on with your... What's the day today? Saturday night. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Remember the name? Little Tommy Lee.
Nice. Tommy, do you want to say anything before we go? You got an Instagram or anything, Tommy?
No, he ain't allowed it because the pedophiles.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, that's nothing to thingy about. I don't blame you for that. Just...
Listen, let me tell you something.
Hang on.
And this is the God's honest truth. Look, and this is how I see things like that. He's a child. And social media can be a very nasty, horrible place, especially with some of them people on there. Like, I'm not just saying it, like the things I get sent and whatever not, and people only got to find out that it's my child and the things that they might send him and that. They don't need to be
100% right. You're 100% right. He's 12 years old. Listen, we never had Instagram and social media when we were his age, or even later than that in our teens. So I don't blame you for not giving him like social media things, because yeah.
No. Listen, there's time for that and whatever not, and he'll make noise at the right time. They're just gonna get him out. As long as he enjoys it and enjoys the boxing, whatever not. He loves the shows and that when I take him to the show. So hopefully when the boxing's back on Coog, I'll bring him to see you.
100%. 100%. All right. Tommy, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV today. Are you in a loft conversion?
No. The houses look like a loft. It's a 2-story house, but the roof starts at 1 story.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
Sloped wall. But yeah, it looks like it. I've got a big loft upstairs. I might convert it.
It looks like there's just a shape there. It could have been, but yeah.
No, I was thinking of doing that, because there's a lot big. I've got a big loft there. Might convert it. If I was in a time of life, if I was in another time of life, I might fill it up with plants.
All right, we'll leave it there. You don't live in California or anything, so you can't do them things.
I know. Listen, don't drink and drive, smoke and fly. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Tom, thank you very much, and we'll definitely catch up with you soon.
All right. Listen, God bless you, Coop. Look after yourself.
No worries. Go on, mate.